Hi, I'm Stephen Hazell. I'm Executive Director of Sierra Club Canada, and I'm based in Ottawa.
Stephen, how important is carbon capture and storage as a solution to reducing greenhouse gas emissions?
I think it will be a fairly important solution. Frankly, if we can't get carbon capture and storage to work right, then we really have to seriously consider phasing out the tar sands industry in short order.
What do you think makes it important? Like, why is carbon capture important at all?
Well, I think it's important because I think it's the only technology that can take the huge amounts of carbon emissions coming from coal-fired generating plants and from the tar sands industry and permanently storing them. It's the only option really, other than decommissioning coal plants and decommissioning the tar sands industry.
Is that something you'd rather see?
Yes.
Well, that's pretty clear.
Well, I mean, Sierra Club's view is that we need to transform our economy from one that's based primarily on burning fossil fuels to one that is based primarily on renewable sources of energy and much more efficient use of those fossil fuels that we do burn. So that's where we come from. We think that the tar sands industry and coal-fired generating plants should be phased down over time. Obviously, there are major economic factors in Alberta, but also in other places in Canada. So we can't do that right away. But certainly, if there was, if carbon capture and storage could work in reducing emissions from tar sands and coal-fired generating, that would allow us to focus on some of the other negative elements of this industry, especially tar sands industry. You know, the air pollution, the water pollution, the heavy use of water, the destruction of the boreal forest, etc.
So where do you think CCS can get us? Where are we trying to get? If you could bypass the whole carbon capture and storage process, where would we arrive?
If we could sort of jump forward 10 years, well, if we could jump forward 10 years, the place where I would like to be is a situation where the tar sands industry is basically carbon neutral, that it is not releasing any more carbon than it is storing through CCS. That's a pretty ambitious objective.
Stephen, any thoughts what it would take to get carbon capture and storage past the phase of being a demonstration sport?
Well, I think we need to have industry step up with some serious funding commitments. It's surprising to me that the commitment has been so lukewarm so far. So I think that's essential. I mean, the industry commitment to putting a lot of money into this is important, and I think part of it. The reason why they haven't come to the table is I don't think industry's understood fully what's on the table, because the environmental community is ultimately going to try and shut the tar sands industry down unless we have a successful CCS solution. So so that's one thing. I think the other thing is that we need to deal with some of the issues that are being addressed in the workshop today. The whole question of liability. It's a major focus for today's workshop. I'm not sure it's that big an issue, frankly. I'm not sure that there will be many lawsuits related to release of CO2 from geological storage for CCS. I'm having trouble seeing that as a big issue. So I think if we could get that off the table, and if that's a barrier to investment, then I think that would be a good thing to do. And then certainly figuring out who's going to pay for what. I think clearly there needs to be some sort of federal investment in carbon capture and storage. Certainly Sierra Club would not favor a subsidy to industry, but maybe if there was a federal investment in a big pipe, for example, that was publicly owned, or perhaps royalty reductions, or some other measure like that doesn't require that doesn't put Canadian taxpayers in a position of basically goosing up the profits of Imperial Oil and ExxonMobil. I think that would be the way to go.
So does using carbon capture and storage just kind of make you want to weep a little bit? Do you think about the money that's going to be spent over the next 10 years attempting to capture all this CO2? Does it make you want to weep?
To a certain extent, yes. I mean, although I guess given the economic realities in this country, Alberta, and the very heavy investments that have been made in tar sands already, I think carbon capture and storage is a necessary evil, at least over the next 10 to 20 years.
Stephen, that's all I have. So is there anything else you'd like to offer?
I think in all of I think there's a danger that CCS is going to sort of capture all of the airspace with respect to other ways of providing energy services to Canadians. And I think we really need to focus on renewable sources of energy as the way forward, which will be at least as important as putting a carbon capture and storage facility in place.
Great. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.